I'm Elisa and welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Today we have a really fun project, and it looks like I have a lot of mixed media supplies in front of me because that's what they are. However, we're going to use polymer clay and a variety of things, and it's just mainly to get your inspiration flowing. But what we are going to make, and it's going to be a little hard to see on camera, but I have lots of photos that I'll share with you. But we're going to make a polymer clay mixed media Dreamcatcher kind of wall hanging. And the polymer clay are in the form of feathers that I've molded from this mold right here. And really the sky is the limit with this project. You can do whatever you want. I was going to hang some feathers going down made out of polymer clay. I didn't go there. Instead, I went going around, but that would certainly be cute too with them dangling. So really, it's just whatever your imagination can come up with. I was even thinking a really cool kaleidoscope design in the middle could go in here. And really, anything you want. So that's what we're going to make. And I just want to give you some idea of what we're going to be working with. I used a embroidery hoop, and that's what this is right here. This is a small one. They come in all sizes. Here's a big one, but I wanted to work with something small so you can see it good on film. The one I used was this size compared to that, so it was probably a medium size. These are probably one of the smallest they carry, but they're inexpensive. You can get them at Joann's or Michael's or any kind of hobby or sewing store. They always carry these embroidery hoops, and like I said, they're very inexpensive, so which is fun. Now, my sister had given me a stack of doilies she picked up at a yard sale, and this one happened to be ripped on the edge. So I thought, well, what a perfect one to use. And so I used that and cut off all the excess because it was already ripped, and what am I going to do with a ripped doily, really, other than create something new with it? So that's what I did. So you're going to need a doily of some sorts, or if you want to create your own kind of Dreamcatcher thing with the string, you can do that. There's lots of tutorials online to do that. Today I'm going to be using some of the glimmer mists. If you're not familiar with glimmer mists, they're water-based, but you can spray them on your project, and I've used them on polymer clay, and they actually work really nice on polymer clay. But you can also use them on wood and paper and feathers and all kinds of things. So it's not just a polymer clay tool. You can use it for all kinds of things. I could even spray on some brass stampings if I wanted to. So we're going to use those today. And I have some metallic paint, which is what I highlighted my feathers with. And then I have some assortment of crystals. You can use stones, you could use a favorite piece of clay, anything you want, or anything that means something to you that you want to incorporate, feel free. That's the whole idea, is to do what feels good for you. And then I'm going to be working with wood beads, and the thing is, I wanted to keep this kind of an earthy feel, so that's why I didn't go for anything that wasn't, in that kind of earth palette. So that's what I did. So let me clear off my area. Oh, and one other thing we're going to be using is Sobo glue. And I like Sobo glue. It's easy to use, and you can bake with it too. So if you needed to stick something in the oven that needed to be glued, you're good to do that. And that's actually how I did this piece. I painted my piece first. I made all of my feathers, and after I made all my feathers, I came back and this is even before I baked it. I added some Sobo glue, then I put my feathers on it, then I baked it right on to the wood. And so it adhered while it baked and everything. So I didn't have to do anything after the fact. This was all done before I even put it in the oven. So that's a little tip. Sobo glue makes it handy. So let me get myself cleared up and we'll get ready to get started. So I grabbed a couple sheets of tissue paper just because this gets messy. So you don't want to be in your best clothes when you're doing this. Normally, actually, you just saw me do something wrong. When you use these glimmer mists, there's a secret to them. And you really don't want to be shaking them up and down like you normally would and back and forth. because then you could end up clogging your nozzles. We were told by the owner of the company the best way to do it is to just kind of shake it around in the bottle like so, because what it has is some mica pigments in there, and you're trying to get them moving because that's what's going to end up on your pieces. So like I said, don't go like this, shake it all up, shake it just from side to side in the bottle, and your nozzle will last a lot longer. You'll find that. So that's just a little tip that we heard from the owner of the company, so I wanted to pass that on. All right, so the colors I've chosen, obviously purple, because if you know me, you know I'm a purple queen. And then I've chosen a color that's more of like a gold, and I like that because it really highlights the purple and looks beautiful. So these are simple and easy to use. It's just a simple pump, and actually if you look on the bottom, you can see some of the gold that's in there because there's a little bit of gold. So I didn't mix it all the way up. I need to mix it a little more. There you go. And so you want to just start with like just a gentle mist, like so, because you want to be able to kind of determine how much color you impart. See, what I'm looking for is just a light kind of, I'm not looking for a saturation here. I'm looking kind of to just add some color and sparkle to it. And that's one of the cool things about these glimmer mists is they have lots of sparkle. When they dry and the light hits it, you can totally see it. It's beautiful. I did not spray paint the other one initially. What I did was I sprayed a little puddle of it on my craft paper, and then I painted it on so that I could make sure I got all of the areas inside and out. So you may want to do that, or paint it with a regular paint and then add some glimmer mists on top. It's totally up to you. This is water-based, so it'll come off your hand, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's totally up to you what you want to do. So this, I'm going to spray this on top of that to highlight it with some pretty gold, even more gold. Come on back. What's cool about using these, there you go. I'm hoping you can see this on camera. The gold is spectacular on top of it. And that's why I like to just kind of come back and highlight that. I really like that. And you don't have to get everything saturated completely or whatever, it'll soak in. But on my doily, I do like to turn it over. Look at how pretty that is. So I kind of do this too because later on I can use this tissue paper for other things. And right now I'm not going to worry about that, but I'm going to turn it over because that'll help get the color through on the other side. So you want to think about that too, and you never know exactly how it's going to fit into your ring. So it's best to just do both sides, and you never know how you're going to hang it too, or if you're giving it as a gift. So that's all there is to that. Using the glimmer mist, now you want to let this dry completely before you assemble it. So let's let this dry. And actually, I'll have another one, and I will be back with that. And we'll put that one together. Okay, so that's not dry, so I just got another one so you can just see how the process goes to put it together. And let me just show you the mold part too, and I'll show you how that goes together as well. So I rolled my clay after I conditioned it into a little snake, and then I kind of fit that into the mold like so. And I use my fingers to push it down. Try to get it into the mold nicely. And then you can just cut off any extra. I've done this a few times. So, if you're new to this, just go slow. You'll get it. And then I like to make sure that it's completely cleaned up before I demold it. Before I take it out of the mold. That way, there's no cleanup after, and it makes it easy. And so you can torque the mold, it's silicone, and it'll come right out. And that's all you need to do to make this. If the edges need cleaning up, go ahead and clean up the edges with your finger, use an X-Acto knife, use your blade, whatever you need if it does need a little cleanup. So that's as simple as it is, and when I'm done with it, I just highlighted it with a little metallic paint. And I did that after it was baked, actually, the highlighting. So let me just show you here. Okay, so this, just imagine this will all be painted and ready to go. I just want to move forward so that you guys can see. This is going to go on top of this back piece. This is your back piece. This inserts over it, and this gets sandwiched between. But you have to make sure that whatever you're going to dangle from it is going to go on this back piece. Otherwise, it won't sit right. And let me show you what I mean here. On here, you see how it's on this back piece? I've tied it on here so it doesn't interfere when I close it, and it hangs nicely. And the knots get hidden and everything. So that's the reason why you want to make sure that it's on your back piece. So you can use whatever your heart desires to hang from it. I just doubled it up, the string. I just thought it would make it stronger. This is hemp, and hemp is nice and strong. I have way more than I need. So I just take it and I figure out what length, how far I want it to hang down. And then I just took it and put a regular knot, like you would, you know, any knot. I don't know what this knot is called, but an overhand knot maybe. Just a regular knot. And I do it twice so it's nice and secure. And then you want to clip it to size. You know, not right exactly at the knot, but, you know, enough so that it stays nice. All right, and that's all you have to do to get your pieces to hang. And so once you get all your pieces on there that you want to hang, and here's a crystal too. Let me show you that. These crystals have holes going through the sides. And actually you can get, we have this feather add-on kit that you can get. So if you don't want to hemp down all the pieces or whatever, we have them available for you right in our shop at createalong.com. And it's just an add-on kit. We also have a feather mold. We have the feather silk screen, the feather stamp. So we have a whole collection of feather stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, you can check that out at createalong.com. So then I'm just adding a crystal because I thought the crystal would be really cute there too. And then you would add your feathers. Now let me give you an idea of how you add the feathers, what I did anyways. You can totally do this whatever way you want. I again doubled it up and took a piece off. And I wrapped this around the top of my feather, like so. And then I wrapped each side going the opposite way. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4 or so, whatever you want to do. And then take this one and go the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, I tied a knot together. And this gives me a place so that the bead doesn't fall right off, which I encountered that issue. So I devised this solution. So that's why I'm saying you can hang it any way you want, you know, whatever looks good to you, whatever solution works for you. But this was the best way without putting on like a cap. I didn't want to put a metal cap on to hang it. I wanted it, like I said, to be as natural kind of looking as possible. So from there, I just took some of my beads, and let me grab some wood beads. I'm gonna cut this. And I want to go over both strings with the wood beads. Okay, so I piece them together like so. And I have that, pull that through. And when I pull it down, I want to go over this part of the feather. And see, that way it's nice and snug. My knot stops it from falling off. And now I have something that I can hang. And so you could just hang that on as well, the same way I showed you with the others. If you have any other way to do it, by all means, if you think it's a better way or a better solution, by all means, do it your way. I'm just showing you how I did it. And this is how. Okay, so imagine that this has all been dyed with the glitter mist or whatever. This little mechanism up top gets twisted, and that opens it up or closes it. So you want to piece this on top, like so, and you want to pull it as tight as you possibly can without ripping it, obviously, And if you need to get it more centered, then pull from that direction, and that'll help to center it for you. And so when you get it exactly where you want, then you can just trim the edge off. And I trimmed it right to here. You can leave a little extra on if you want. It's totally up to you. And really, then you have your piece. And it's so cute and so easy to do. The feather here, what I did was to do that. Let me take this apart so that you can see that clearly. To put my feathers on, all I did was take a little bit of this Sobo glue. And I put a little on my work surface, but you can just take a little on your... Oh, that's a lot on my work surface. Anyways, and then I just went like this, and while my clay was still raw, the feathers that I created, I just pieced it right on, and then kept going all the way around until I covered the whole piece. And then I stuck the whole thing, I stuck this whole piece in the oven and baked it with it on there. And then when it came out of the oven, it was ready to go. I didn't have to do anything else. Added a little highlight with that metallic paint I showed you, this metallic paint. And then voila, you're done. It's that easy. I mean, it might take you a little time to do because there's lots of steps involved, but the end result is so satisfying because it's such a cute piece, and I really think they would make fabulous gifts. Let me just show you this again. I mean, you can really change this to any look. And, you know, you can use any color scheme. You can, if someone's into something more than they are others, like if they want a more of a traditional kind of, you know, Dreamcatcher, you can certainly do that. Doilies work great. You could use fabric. You could use a cane slicer, multiple cane slices. You could silk screen and make that your middle area, and just glue it on. So there's lots of ideas, and I would love to see what you guys make. We've created a group for everybody that's really interested in polymer clay and mixed media to join, and it's called Polymer Clay Tribe. And we'd love for you guys to join us. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and all you have to do is go to polymerclaytribe.com. It'll take you to the Facebook group, and you can just ask to join, and we'll approve you. And we're having lots of sharing going on in there. Everybody's sharing pictures and ideas, and we're having contests and all kinds of fun stuff. So we'll hope you join us there at polymerclaytribe.com. And you can get any of these supplies that I talked about on our website at createalong.com. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and come share photos with us. We'll see you next time. Thanks.